What's up, fellas? Here at the the week one review. Obviously we had a pretty I guess exciting first week to the NFL. My Cowboys won 40-0, so it was a big week. We had a couple big injuries this week. Obviously, everybody is very aware of Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles last night, which obviously sucks for the Jets, sucks for him, sucks for Garrett Wilson, and maybe the running backs a little bit as well. As I just don't think their offense is going to be that good with Wilson. We'll see if they pick up anybody in free agency or do any trades or anything. Obviously, the Ravens lost J.K. Dobbins to a torn Achilles as well. So both of them will be out for the season. So that's a little tough. But other than that, good week. I didn't get to watch a ton of it, unfortunately, but looked like some exciting games, especially if you got to watch the Dolphins Chargers game. But without further ado, I will jump into the review here. To start, I always start my matchup because obviously when you log in, it's just the first one that pops up. I have myself versus Garrett, the defending champion. I was able to beat him pretty good, 132 to 100, pretty much. Looking at Garrett's team, Lamar Jackson, not a big day for him. A lot of guys at the quarterback position that were picked high didn't do too well, and as you'll see as we go through the review, tight ends just sucked all of them. Like, it's atrocious. So not a good day for Lamar. Tony Pollard got him 21, so good there. Mike Evans got a touchdown. Usually if he gets a touchdown, he'll do well. If he doesn't, he won't do well. He got 16. He got 11 out of Cortland Sutton, who found the end zone. He got 12 out of Ramondre Stevenson, 12 out of his defense, so pretty good there. Not the best day, but not a horrible day out of Jacobs. 8 points. You expect more, but 8 is okay. Obviously it could be a lot worse. 3 points out of Kittle, 3 points out of Cooks. Obviously definitely hurt him there as well. Looking at his bench, nothing really going on the bench outside of Tyler Algier, who had 2 touchdowns and really put it on the Panthers with 23 points. Obviously, that's not going to be the norm, 2 touchdowns for him, but looks like they're going to mix him in some as they also have B.J. Robinson there. Looking at my team, I did lead the league in scoring, so obviously ranking my team number 1 looks pretty good, at least to start. Like I mentioned in the chat earlier, my team is not going to be ranked number 1 this week, even though I won and scored the most points. Obviously, losing Dobbins, I think, hurts my team quite a bit, and it is what it is. Not we'll see how the rest of the season goes. Start off, I got Justin Fields, got me 15. Not great, not horrible. Hopefully he does a little bit better. Austin Eckler had a huge day with 24. Like I said, Dobbins tore his Achilles. He did get me a touchdown, so he got 11 points. Olave had a nice day with 15. Didn't find the end zone, which could have blossomed that even more. Big day out of Brandon Ayuk. Luckily, he didn't score another touchdown because Garrett was going to punch all Brandons in the face, including his brother, who is close enough. So luckily for those guys, he didn't get another one. He had 29 points there. Had 20 out of my defense last night, 13 out of my kicker. So I think I went into the game barely losing. I knew I would win, but they really solidified that for me. Nothing on the bench. Did have Nico Collins, who had 11, so he did okay. DJ Moore struggled. The Bears traded fucking number 1 pick for him and barely threw him the ball. So we'll see if that changes moving forward. Threw in Isaiah Likely at tight end. Got me a point. Hopefully fucking Mark Andrews is back. Cost me in a league where I lost. Obviously, you spend a 3rd-round pick on a guy you don't get to play, and that's tough. Antonio Gibson fumbled and sucked. He only had me half a point, so we'll see if he sees the playing field for me moving forward. Next matchup I have Dalton versus Dakota. This is also a very big blowout here. Dalton took it to him 120 to 98. Looking at Dakota's team, he did have Tua at quarterback, who had a massive day with 466 and 3 touchdowns, 27 points. Obviously, you can't expect 400 passing yards every week. And we all know Tua has a history with injuries. So we'll see how that goes as far as keeping his head off the ground or getting hit in the head. B. John had a big day with 17, so nice debut for him. Garrett Wilson did find the end zone last night to save his day. He got 12. Obviously, without Aaron Rodgers, he just just might not be that great for him moving forward. We'll see what happens there. Decent day out of his defense with 12. Did have Brees Hall on the bench who had 15. He did look pretty good last night, so we'll see how that goes moving forward. Anthony Richardson had 21, so not a bad day out of him. Obviously, if you look at Dakota's bench, he's stacked with big-name players who are out. Kupp, Kelsey, Kyler Murray. I don't know if they're going to bring him back, and the Cardinals suck anyways this year, so we'll see how that goes. Played Jerick McKinnon, who had 2 points. Taysom Hill got him a half a point. Jamal Williams was supposed to have a decent day, only got 6. So it is what it is there. Looking over here at Dakota's team, I believe looking at Dalton's team, I believe Dalton scored second most points this week. I'm not positive on that. I'd have to look it up. But he probably should have scored a lot more because Josh Allen sucked last night, 9 points. I watched a little bit of the game. I remember they had a 3rd and 2, and he threw like a 20-yard corner out. They got picked off by Whitehead when he had Diggs wide open underneath who would have got the first down. I don't know what he was thinking. Just not a good day for them. Obviously, the Jets are a pretty decent defense. I know the weather wasn't the best, but still. Christian McCaffrey had a huge day with 24. Devontae Smith had 14. Zay Flowers, nice debut for him with 13. Commanders got him 12. Jake Elliott killed it for him with 17. He was the number 1 kicker on the week. Nothing to speak of on his bench. Nobody did anything there. Cam Akers found the end zone with 9. He obviously split some time with, I think it's Kerwin Williams. He's probably a free agent in our league. That'll probably get picked up, I'm sure. Michael Thomas got him 9. Delaney Walker had 5, which I haven't looked at the tight ends, but I'm imagining those 5 points were at least probably a top 5 tight end for the week, which is absolutely nuts. Also had Javonte Williams who had 8, so nice coming back from his injury there. 8 points, not too bad. Next up, we got Josh versus Derek. Josh won this one 97-87. Josh was led by Justin Herbert, who had 21, so a nice day there. David Montgomery had a nice day on Thursday night with 13. Metcalf had 12. Jalen Waddle had 10. Obviously, once we get to whoever owns Tyreek Hill, that's where most of the production went for the Dolphins out of the receiving game. Herbert, for the Bears had 10. Nothing else really going on there. I guess Miles Sanders got him 10 too, so not too bad. Obviously, Jamar Chase, a first-round pick with only 7 points. You expect a little bit more there. Got pretty lucky with Pat Freiermuth at tight end. Had 1 catch, but it was a touchdown and got him 7 points. So nice going there. No, outside of Chase, nobody really a dud in his lineup in my opinion. So looking over here at Derek's team, he went with Dak Prescott. You'd think with winning a game 40-0, quarterback would have some fantasy points, but that is not the case with 6 points. Obviously, Pollard had 2 touchdowns. Defense scored 2 touchdowns. It's just a big day, just not for him. Derrick Henry with 13. A.J. Brown had 11. Michael Pittman had 20, which to me is surprising. I know the Jacksonville defense isn't very good, but I just don't think Anthony Richardson is a good passer. I do think Pittman is a good receiver. Just hasn't been fortunate enough in his career to play with anybody solid. But looks like 8 for 97 and a touch, so good day for him. Madison found the end zone with 12 for him. 49ers defense with 14. His kicker got him -2, so that's kind of tough. We'll see if he keeps the kicker or not. Had James Cook on the bench who had 8. Brock Purdy on the bench had 17. So, if he would have played Brock Purdy over Dak Prescott, he would have won the matchup. Obviously, probably not something I would have done, so I can't blame him for that. Next up, we have Michael versus DJ. Give me 1 second here. There we go. Looks like this was the closest matchup. DJ pulled this one out. It was 102 to 101 pretty much. Looking at Michael's team, he had Trevor Lawrence had 18, Nick Chubb 15, just couldn't find the end zone. Obviously, they didn't really need it too much because they blew out the Bengals. Aaron Jones with a big day, had 26. I do know late in that game he pulled up after he scored a touchdown, kind of pulling at his hamstring. So I'm not sure if that's a serious injury or not. Eagles defense got him 11. Had Jordan Addison on the bench who had 14, so a nice debut for him. Joe Mixon had 9 for him. Amari Cooper with 5. I'm not a big Cooper fan. We'll see if he can get it done. Christian Kirk got him 1.5. Just the one catch there. From what I heard, his playing time wasn't a lot. Looks like Zay Jones is getting more run than him, so maybe Kirk might be like the third receiver on the team this year. We'll see how that goes. It's kind of early to tell there. Looking over here at DJ's team, led by Jalen Hurts, who didn't do great. 13. Obviously, Pat's defense is pretty good, so they still got the win. That's all that really matters. James Conner got him 10. I just think it's going to be a rough year for Conner because the Cardinals, I think, are probably the worst team in the league. Dalvin Cook got him 7.5, so obviously got him just enough points last night to get the victory. Devontae Adams with 10. St. Brown with 16. Got 0.4 points out of Sky Moore and Dallas Goedert combined. That's just not a good recipe there. Obviously, Goddard's a solid tight end. Sky Moore, I don't know about him. Obviously, the biggest day for him was the Cowboys defense, who had 35 points. That's fucking insane. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, a block kick. I mean, that's just absolute nuts. Had P. Ryan on the bench, who had 10. Russell Wilson had 15 on the bench. Nothing else going on his bench there. That pretty much sums up his team. Next up, we have Kenny versus Ray. Kenny won this one 102 to 97. Ray was led by Joe Burrow, who sucked. Even worse than Daniel Jones, who he was playing against in this matchup. Burrow had 3 points. Now, obviously, we all know Burrow is much better than that. This will probably be his worst game of the year. But I don't necessarily think it's unexpected. I think his record versus the Browns is like 1-5 in the last 6. Obviously, Burrow was hurt in training camp. So he didn't really practice too much. I mean, you're going to be a little rusty. I don't care how good you are. It's the NFL. But obviously, this will probably be his worst game of the year. So I obviously not too concerned there. Obviously, had Stephon Diggs. You just needed a little bit more out of him last night. Stephon Diggs put up 21. Obviously, a big day for him. Jacoby Myers, he threw him into flex, and it paid off. 25 points. Big day for Jacoby Myers. That's probably his best game of this season. We'll see how that goes. San Francisco kicker got him 14. Not much going on the bench here. Dalton Kincaid with 5 points pretty much. So not a bad debut for him, in my opinion. Smith and Jigba had 3. So obviously a little bit of disappointment there. Saquon Barkley only getting you 8 points. You expect double digits from Barkley every week. So that's kind of tough. They really sucked. They really sucked Sunday night. Looking at Kenny's team, led by Daniel Jones, who obviously sucked as well, just like all the Giants, had 4 points. Tyreek Hill led his team, 39 points, 11 catches, 215, 2 touchdowns. I mean, we all know Tyreek Hill is capable of these insane games. He'll probably have another 1 or 2 like that this year. That's why he's a top 5 receiver. His speed is just unmatched. It's amazing, and he's very talented. CeeDee Lamb got him 10. Drake London got him 0. I think I saw the Falcons pass the ball 17 times in the game, and I want to say at least 6 of those went to Bijan. Just not a lot of passing to go around. You don't have to pass. They don't like to pass if they're winning, so I just think it'll be a rough season for him and Kyle Pitts as well. It's just not how their team is put together. T.J. Hawkinson got him 8 points, 12 out of the kicker. Did have Kenny Gainwell on the bench who had 9. Obviously, he led that team in carries over DeAndre Swift and Boston Scott. Rashad Penny was not even active for the game. So there's that. Rashad White got him 6. Jahmyr Gibbs a 7. I mean, you expect a little bit more out of them. I think it looks like Detroit's going to little by little work Gibbs in. It's not Montgomery didn't play great, but he didn't play bad either. I think he's a good player. I don't know about Rashad White. I mean, Tampa won, which I was greatly surprised by. Obviously, the Vikings and the Giants both had good records last year, but they did have a lot of close games. So we'll see how that pans out this year. But I definitely was surprised by that. And then the last matchup we have here is another really close one. We had Jason C. Put up 109 over Jason F., who put up 107. I'm looking at Jason Fowler's team, led by Patrick Mahomes with 20. Not bad, but Mahomes you expect a little bit more. Obviously didn't have Kelsey, so I'm sure that'll turn around once he has his best receiver back. Brian Robinson got him 13. Hopkins in his first game with Tennessee had 10. Keenan Allen with 11. Calvin Ridley in his first game in like 600-something days had 20. So he's amazing. Jacksonville defense got him 13. Had Cousins on the bench with 16. Darnell Mooney on the bench with 13. So nothing crazy there. It's not, it doesn't look like he didn't play, the right players by any means. Obviously he could have played Mooney over McLaurin and would have won, but you're probably playing McLaurin. The only reason you may not have played McLaurin is obviously he was coming off the injury, but he's healthy. He's a pretty solid player, so you got to go with him. Damian Pierce got him 6. You expect a little bit better there. Obviously McLaurin with 4. When he's healthy, he'll probably do better. Looking at Jason C's team, we have Deshaun Watson with 21, so a decent day for Watson. Not a lot of passing, but he did have 2 total touchdowns, so I'm imagining he passed 1 and ran 1. Travis Etienne with 19 points. Justin Jefferson with 20. Didn't find the end zone, but 20 and not finding the end zone is great. Raheem Mostert with 12. Did get a touchdown there in that high-scoring game. Zay Jones on the bench with 14. Nothing else to talk about on this bench. Did have T. Higgins in the lineup who had 0. I believe I saw he was targeted 8 times, so it wasn't from a lack of targets, but it's just a rough day for Burrow. The Browns have a good defense. I just think it was just an off day for the Bengals. Nothing to be too alarmed about, but getting 0 points from a guy you picked in, I have to imagine the third or fourth round, likely the 3rd round. That's just kind of tough to see that there. But that does it for everything. That covers all the matchups. Obviously, waivers will process for the first time tomorrow at noon. Obviously, you have to get your bids in. Players go to the players who bid the most for them. I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit of action, given who's on the waiver wire. Some things that we all saw this week watching the games. And I'm sure some players are going to go for a lot more money than I think they should go for. But we'll see how it goes. Best of luck to everybody, and I'll see you guys next week.